Are you looking for a recipe your whole family will eat, but that isn't bland and boring? Well, I have just the recipe for you. By day, I'm a food writer and recipe developer. I've worked in fancy restaurants and I graduated from culinary school. But what's really important is that I'm a dad who cooks dinner every night for his family. And so that means I make recipes that my young daughters will actually eat, but that aren't boring for me and my food-loving wife. Today, I'm gonna show you how I make a simple yet delicious skillet mac and cheese. Let's cook. First up, we're going to start by grating some cheddar cheese. We're going to do a combination of sharp cheddar cheese, about 4 ounces, which is about 2 cups of shredded cheese. And then we're going to also do Gouda, because this is a Gouda mac and cheese. Gouda adds some nice creamy elements, while sharp cheddar adds some flavor. It's classic, right? Next, we're going to warm up some whole milk. And to this milk, I'm going to add a shallot that I cut in half. And I'm going to add a bunch of thyme leaves. And what I'm gonna do is just gonna microwave this for about 1 to 2 minutes until it's hot. I'm gonna leave it in the microwave while I work on the sauce. And we'll let this steep, and it'll extract some flavors. It'll make it taste really good, but again, the kids won't even notice that these ingredients are in there. They're not gonna bite. All right, we're gonna toast some panko in the dried skillet. This is the same skillet we're gonna use to make the actual sauce and mac and cheese. And this is just gonna give us a nice crunchy topping. My younger daughter doesn't love crunchy toppings, but you know what, she can eat around it. This will take about 5 to 6 minutes on medium. Just gonna let this cook and toss it pretty frequently so it doesn't burn. All right, next we're gonna use the same skillet to make the cheese sauce. And that starts with a roux, or bechamel that's thickened with the roux. So we have 3 tablespoons of butter, and then we're gonna melt this and whisk in 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. I like to make the roux for my bechamel sauce a little bit thicker than usual, so I'm only gonna let it cook for about a minute. So we're gonna dust in the flour. And like I said, we're just gonna cook this for about 1 minute. We want this to stay a pretty light roux, and the idea is just to cook out some of the raw flour flavor. All right, next up, I'm actually gonna turn the heat off. I want this to cool down just a little bit, and I'm gonna go check on our milk that's steeping in the microwave. Sorry, my dog just fell over. Got an elderly dog in the house. Let me go check on him. You okay? All right, got my dog here doing some cleaning at my feet. I'm just gonna spoon out some of this, or fork out rather, this thyme and shallot. I know it's not a very long time to steep this, but again, I'm making this for young girls, young daughters who are, well, let's just say one of them's very picky, the other one's more adventurous. So this is like a happy medium. All right, this is hot. I'm gonna pour this into our roux, and we're gonna do this slowly. Okay, we're gonna stop there. I'm gonna hold back about a cup or so, and then we're just gonna crank this heat back up. We're gonna cook and make sure the roux is all incorporated. All right, dog just knocked over my light. We're all good though. You can already see that this is starting to get kind of thick, which is perfect. It's nice and smooth because our milk was heated up and we cooled down our roux just a little bit. All right, at this point, I'm gonna add a really big pinch of salt. Okay. And before I start adding in the cheese, I'm actually gonna add in some more flavoring components. And this is just a little bit of coarse ground Dijon mustard. It's about a teaspoon, we'll call it. Again, just a little hint of something extra special in there. Girls won't notice, my daughters won't notice, but it'll make it taste extra special. You could add Worcestershire sauce here as well. You could also add fresh thyme leaves. Okay, I got the temperature down super low, and we're gonna slowly start adding in the cheese, a little bit at a time. Go slowly here. You wanna add the whole thing, or you could break it. Okay, it's nice. You want it just hot enough to melt the cheese, but not too hot that it's gonna make the cheese separate and get all gritty and gross. Biggest tip I can give if you're making mac and cheese for the first time, or if you make it all the time and you notice that it breaks, is you don't want your milk to be too hot when you're adding the cheese, because it can curdle pretty easily. All right, we're gonna add some more. Okay, again, just warm enough to melt the cheese. Might look lumpy when you first start whisking it, but as long as your heat is moderately low and you keep whisking it, your cheese will melt. Nice and slow. Okay, we're gonna leave behind about a cup for another use. So I'm just gonna set aside about a cup there, and I'll add the last of it here. Again, just set aside 1 cup of that cheese. Leave some of the milk behind. It's gonna let us adjust things right at the end. Okay, we got our big pot of boiling water over here. Add a nice big pinch of salt. And then we're gonna add, I got some shells here. You can use elbows, you can do this, use whatever you want. Cook this to just 1 minute shy of al dente. While the pasta cooks, we can test this for seasoning. You could add black pepper, but we're gonna leave it out because all the ladies in my house complain that everything tastes too spicy with black pepper. Just saying. Okay, now that the pasta's cooked and our sauce is made, I'm actually gonna turn our sauce up a bit, switch to a silicone spatula left over from culinary school, and go in with our drained pasta. Oh yes. You hear that sound? Can you hear that? What a sound. Oof. I mean, come on, doesn't that look so good? We're not done there yet, folks. No, we are not done yet. Okay, I want this extra creamy, so I'm gonna add a little bit more of that milk. Just to loosen this up a little bit. All right, finally that reserved cheese. We're gonna turn this down nice and low, still super hot. I'm gonna go ahead and sprinkle this right over top. Give this a shake. Don't really wanna stir it anymore. Just push down the edges like that. From here, we're gonna sprinkle on the reserved toasted panko. You use it all, so you can be pretty liberal here. It's bubbling up, you can see. Little that bubble, you see that? That is so good. I don't want it to like boil too hard, so I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. But this cheese sauce is gonna thicken up a little bit. As it starts to get to be friends with the pasta and more of that cheese on top melts. Oh boy, I cannot wait to eat this. That's pretty much it. There you have it. You can either serve this as is, which is what I'm going to do because my family tends to like non-baked. They like skillet mac and cheese like this. You can also put this straight into a 350-degree oven for about 15-20 minutes if you want it to be more firm and set up, like a baked mac and cheese, or you can transfer this whole thing before you put the breadcrumbs on, obviously, to a baking dish and bake it there for 15 to 20 minutes, 350. But there you go, skillet Gouda mac and cheese. Delicious. Let's dig in. I mean, you can't go wrong with mac and cheese for dinner. In a skillet version like this, nice and easy, super, super fast. Let's get in here and give it a try. Hot. That's so good. It's creamy, super flavorful. Nothing's too overwhelming, very, very well balanced. It's a mac and cheese that I know my kids will eat, and my youngest is super picky, so try it for your family too. And it's interesting enough for us adults that we're just gonna love it too. What can I say? This reminds me of the mac and cheese my mom made when I was a kid, which I guess is a huge compliment because it was so good. She used to make hers with Velveeta. You know, you do you if that's what you want. This version, super delicious, nothing's overpowering, very well balanced, super flavorful. I hope you will give this recipe a try and let me know what you think. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.